Whether it's trash-talking your favorite NBA superstar, being among some of the NBA's most hated defenders like Draymond Green and Rudy Gobert, or walking right through other players' press conferences like he owns the place, this is the story of a man who doesn't just play the game, he rattles the biggest names in it. These are the times Dillion Brooks taunted and trolled NBA superstars. Dillion Brooks is a Canadian basketball star born January 22nd in 1996 in Mississauga, Ontario. He played high school ball in Canada and later at Findlay Prep in Nevada, and then starred at the University of Oregon, where he became a standout and top scorer. In the 2017 NBA draft, Brooks was picked 45th overall by the Houston Rockets, but was soon traded to the Memphis Grizzlies, where he began his NBA journey. He eventually became known not just for scoring and defense, but his physical style of play and willingness to take on the league's biggest stars. After 6 seasons in Memphis, Brooks signed with the Houston Rockets in 2023, and later was traded to the Phoenix Suns in 2025, continuing his reputation as one of the NBA's most intense wing defenders. Dillion Brooks didn't become one of the most hated defenders in the NBA because he talks loud. He became hated because he guards louder. From the moment Brooks established himself as a regular rotation player in Memphis, his identity was clear. He wasn't trying to be flashy. He wasn't trying to be liked. He was trying to get under your skin. His defense was aggressive, physical, and relentless. The kind of defense that doesn't just challenge your shot, but challenges your patience. Brooks built a reputation as someone who picks up star players full court, bumps cutters, fights through screens, and never gives an inch, especially against the league's biggest names. And in a league driven by star power, that alone is enough to make enemies. But what really set Brooks apart was how often his intensity crossed into controversy. Over the years, his physical style has drawn criticism from opposing players, coaches, and fans. Many have accused him of playing on the edge of the rules and sometimes stepping over that edge entirely. Hard fouls, late contests, extra contact after the whistle. It all became part of the Dillion Brooks experience. One of the most infamous moments that cemented this reputation came during Memphis's playoff battles with Golden State. In a heated postseason matchup, Brooks committed a hard foul on Gary Payton while attempting to block a fast break layup, a play that resulted in Payton fracturing his elbow. The incident sparked league-wide outrage, and Warriors head coach Steve Kerr publicly labeled it one of the dirtiest plays I've ever seen. That quote alone followed Brooks for years. From that moment on, every aggressive play Brooks made was put under a microscope. Against Stephen Curry, Brooks's defense was often described as suffocating, but also controversial. He consistently body-checked Curry off the ball, fought through screens with force, and stayed attached to him on every possession. When Brooks delivered a hard shot to Curry's midsection after a jumper in a later matchup, it reignited the debate. Is this elite defense or is this reckless? Either way, the result is the same. Players don't enjoy playing against him. And in the NBA, when star players are uncomfortable, narratives are born. By the time Brooks left Memphis, he was no longer just known as a solid wing defender. He was known as the guy stars circled on the schedule. The defender who wouldn't show respect, wouldn't back down, definitely wouldn't stay quiet. At that point, Dillion Brooks wasn't just defending opponents anymore. He was challenging the hierarchy of the NBA itself. The most famous feud of Brooks' career began during the 2023 NBA playoffs when the Memphis Grizzlies matched up with the Los Angeles Lakers. In the NBA, trash talk is nothing new, but Brooks took it a step further. Brooks has been famously outspoken toward LeBron James, going beyond normal competitive trash talk, and instead of giving LeBron James the usual veteran respect, Brooks did the opposite. After Game 2 of the 2023 NBA playoffs, Grizzlies versus Lakers, Brooks told reporters that LeBron was old and that he doesn't respect anyone until they drop 40 points on him.
I don't care, he's old. I poke bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40.
That comment exploded across social media and sports media alike. Former players reacted. Fans were split between calling Brooks fearless or foolish. LeBron, on the other hand, said almost nothing, and that silence spoke volumes. Instead of trading words, LeBron responded on the court. The Lakers went on to eliminate Memphis, and after the series ended, Brooks refused to speak to the media, skipping post-game interviews entirely. Even after leaving Memphis, Brooks didn't fully back away from the feud. In later interviews, Brooks suggested that LeBron enjoys attention and that he personally doesn't care about being liked or praised.
I don't know. I guess he's a social media junkie. He be all over the socials, so he be seeing, I guess, what I'm saying. And when I go out there and he thinks, like I told you, he thinks that people should think a way about him and not say nothing about him or, you know, play a certain way. I'm not going to play that way. So he gets in his moods or in his modes or whatever it is, and I'm all for that. I wish we let him shoot that shot, and that shit would have been an air ball.
If targeting LeBron was bold, then what Brooks did against Stephen Curry was much bolder and far more controversial. In the 2025 Western Conference playoffs, Curry was battling through a thumb injury, and during one key game, Brooks was repeatedly seen making contact with Curry's hand or thumb immediately after shots. These actions drew the attention of broadcasters, teammates, and opposing coaches. During his post-game press conference, Brooks unapologetically explained his strategy.
You know, if I had an injured ankle, I would attack that ankle every single time. So, whatever they're saying on the broadcast, they can keep saying it.
That admission was more than a defensive explanation. It was a psychological proclamation that he would exploit any perceived weakness to gain an advantage. Curry himself did not mince words either, emphasizing after the game that if contact was a foul, it should be called, making it clear that Brooks's tactics swirled into controversy far beyond mere physical defense. Brooks's matchups with Curry were consistently intense. He played Curry physically, bumping him off ball, fighting through screens, and staying glued to him for entire possessions. During one matchup, Brooks was assessed a flagrant foul after delivering a hard shot to Curry's ribs following a jumper. The reaction was immediate. Fans criticized Brooks heavily, and analysts questioned whether his approach was reckless. Even players weighed in, with Devin Booker acknowledging Brooks's intensity while hinting that he needed to stay under control. Brooks's confrontational style hasn't been limited to just LeBron and Curry. He's had visible on-court tension with Kevin Durant, exchanging words during games and engaging in physical, heated possessions that required officials to step in. He's also been involved in verbal exchanges with players like Anthony Edwards, who accused Brooks of sneaky physical tactics during games, calling out what he described as dirty little stuff in post-game comments. While these moments didn't always make headlines, they reinforced Brooks's reputation as someone who welcomes conflict, not avoids it. By this point in his career, Dillon Brooks wasn't just trash-talking for fun. He was building an identity rooted in disruption, in disrespecting NBA hierarchies, in making stars uncomfortable, not just physically, but mentally. And whether fans love him or hate him, one thing is undeniable. When Dillon Brooks is on the floor, something is going to happen. During the 2024 Olympic exhibitions, when emotions were already high and national pride was on the line, Dillon Brooks did the unthinkable. As members of Team USA addressed the media following an exhibition matchup, cameras focused on the stars, the usual setting for polished sound bites and controlled narratives. Dillon Brooks casually walked through the frame, directly through the press conference setup, trying to mess with them mentally before the game. Dillon Brooks has shown he's not afraid to be disliked. Whether it's a hard foul, a sharp remark, or a walk through someone else's spotlight, he's embraced every part of his villainous reputation. Love him or hate him, he is unapologetically Dillon the Villain Brooks.
Get your phones out, start voting.